and give you some stats. So Haaland obviously went on to score 4 goals.
Mm-hmm.
He's now become the fastest player to score 60 goals in the Prem amongst a list of who's going to make this list.
He must be an esteemed company, boy.
Yeah, esteemed company. So after Haaland is Shearer, Van Nistelrooy, Fernando Torres, and then Salah.
Okay.
And in total, he scored 201 career goals in 5 seasons. But obviously, he missed the opportunity to become amongst the list of players again to score 5 goals in 1 game. So
Apparently,
obviously, there's been some talks about what's that?
Apparently, it's still a sport brat, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Obviously, there's been talks about Haaland being according to Roy Keane, a League 2 striker. But obviously, let's be real, Haaland hasn't really been on form for the last couple of games.
Mm.
He's now breaking all these records. But what do you think about the claims that this might be a bit unfair, that he's a flat track bully? Because when he's needed in the big games, he doesn't really have as much impact as he does when he plays the likes of, example, Wolves, where you're smashing them.
Yeah.
Against Real Madrid, they'll say he didn't show up. In the final, he didn't show up. So
I don't hear it. You know why I don't hear it? And it's, because how do you define a big game? That game against Wolves is a big game. You're chasing.
Maybe not a big game, as in the bigger teams.
Yeah, you define a big game, like two. Yeah,
I know what you're saying. I know what the definition is, like the textbook definition of what a big game would be. But I don't really like that term because there's a lot at stake here. Like there's a lot at stake in that City versus Wolves game. There's a lot at stake. If you want your striker to turn up and bang you 4 goals, you want your striker to do that. Those are the games you need him to do it.
No,
but you've got because they say a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't need 4 goals, bro.
Brother, they just needed to win.
Flat track.
Yeah. What?
Bro.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like it's not just. I'm just using this game because it's the most recent example. But you need your Haalands. So I know Roy Keane's come out and said, and he's got a point in terms of. He is quite redundant in terms of their build-up play, but he's redundant because he's not needed there. Pep has strategized and devised a plan for Man City to dominate, and all he needs Haaland to do is get on the end of the sequence. If he needed Haaland to be involved in the sequence, we might see a different Haaland. But he just needs Haaland to be at the end of the sequence.
So I agree with everything.
No, because in Germany we saw a different Haaland. We saw Haaland able to
link up play Haaland.
No, we did. I might disagree with you there, Joe.
Hang on, sorry.
Miles, you had a point.
Yeah, I was gonna say like because to your point, Dan, what you're basically describing is his mentality. His mentality is undeniable. Like he's an animal. He wants to score goals. He's hungry to score goals. Like he's not happy with scoring 2 or 3 in a game. He wants to get 4 and 5. I agree with that. But where I would challenge or agree with the comment that he's a flat track bully is that when he's up against like the best centre backs in the world, he struggles. Like he does struggle. It's similar to like Lukaku. Like Lukaku used to bang in it. Like I think if Lukaku was in Man City, he would bang goals as well in it.
I think Lukaku would even bang goals in his Chelsea team if he actually.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, facts. Absolutely facts. Like his mentality is not in question. Like he's hungry for it. But I think, I don't think he's necessarily got like the link up play that people were saying that they saw in the weekend, and I don't think he's got that. But it's undeniable. Every team will have it. Every team will have him in their squad, though. Let's be honest. It's quality, but I think he could improve for sure.
Yeah. So Charles, I agree with what you're saying. The only thing I disagree again is if Pep wanted him to do it, he'd be able to do it. I think there's been games where Haaland himself has attempted to do it.
And maybe Arsenal game, for example.
Maybe let me clarify that. I'm not saying that he would be able to like if because maybe Pep. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that Pep's not required that from him. So I'm just saying, I feel like it's as much as it is a famous quotable from Roy Keane. He's a League 2 striker, X, Y, and Z. I think it's also worth noting that his job is purely to be on the end of that sequence and put the ball in the back of the net. And as Della Strada just read out the metrics, Haaland is leading them.
But isn't that a flat track bully though?
That's what I was going to say, because there's obviously, ignoring what Roy Keane said, let's be real, Haaland had deficiencies in his game that we can all see.
Yeah.
And as to your point, that he's obviously there to get on the end of some of these chances created. But I think Joey mentioned it, but it's when he comes against like better defenders, sometimes he goes missing. Like against Saliba, against Arsenal, he does nothing happens. Liverpool, nothing happens. Real Madrid last season against Rudiger, I think obviously Man City won, but again, Haaland was quiet. This season, Haaland was quiet. So, and if you look at his numbers, obviously there's games where he scored 4 goals. There's games where he scored the 3 goals, but not to take anything away from him, but it is a valid observation for people to make that say, when, to your point, when he's needed, of course he turns up, but then when we need him in the bigger games, but then,
you know what it is? I might be coming from an angle of bias because obviously I've played up front, but it's very easy to not Haaland stats, but I mean, it depends what arena we're talking about.
No, but it doesn't depend.
We're talking about holiday football. If we're talking about holiday football, when the stakes were higher, I turned up.
So what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
I turned up. I feel like I was a Haaland in back holiday football.
So what are you trying to say? As in,
okay. Let's not go off.
You don't want to do that, bro.
Let's not go off tangent. We nearly went wild.
That's smart.
Yeah. Well, all I'm trying to say is it's very easy to mark a striker out of the game, and I feel like if you know that striker can be the differential in the game, it's very easy to eliminate that striker from it. And then I feel like I'm not saying it's lazy analysis, but I say it's very easy to say X, Y, and Z never turned up when that's probably the easiest position to nullify. Do you get what I mean?
No, that's
am I landing?
No, I get what you're saying.
Can I just say that's not true, bro? Because obviously when we do this analysis, we look at like a Harry Kane and we look at a Haaland. Or even a Darwin Núñez, like because their movement, not Darwin Núñez, ignore that. A Harry Kane, their intelligence and their ability to drop deep and link up play and do other things means that you can't follow him into that deep positions. Whereas Haaland's not technical enough to drop into those deep positions.
I hear you, Joey, but I feel like I'm just gonna say I feel like I'm gonna be even more brave and say I know you've criticized Harry Kane for being a DM, bruv. I know you've criticised Gabriel Jesus for being a right back. So when they're dropping deep because they've been nullified, when they've been nullified further up, and they drop deeper to get into the game, you don't give a shit about that game.
That's not why they're dropping deep though. So Harry Kane will drop deep against Panama, bro. He's dropping deep because he's a busybody and he wants to play football. But I'm saying, so let's say, for example, a Luis Suarez. It's not easy to keep a Luis Suarez out of the game. Or I can go through all the history of strikers where you can't mark this man and you can't just nullify him.
Okay, but do they have the numbers Haaland's got?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But Haaland's not playing in those big games week in, week out. So that's why he's getting them numbers against the players where they can't nullify him.
All I'm saying is, I think it's harsh.
With pace and power.
I think it's harsh to just say that he's a flat track bully and he only shows up in the nothing games. That's my thing, because I don't think you get those numbers showing up in the nothing games. That's where I'm at.
Wait, hang on.
I don't think so, bro.
Wait, hang on. Can we do the maths? Yeah, like how many big games are there or big defenders are there in the league that are going to prevent him from scoring? And if you do the mathematics, if you're doing 4 or 3 in all of those games, you 100% can get those numbers. That's the whole point of a flat track bully, is that you're using those games to get the numbers.